Hello, everyone, and welcome to another poetry reading. I'm your host, Shoebox Poet, Clarence Plank. And pardon my voice. I've been trying to get over an infection, upper respiratory infection, since I got it Monday and been trying to get. Finally went to the doctor and got, some medicine for it. So hopefully it'll start working, which has been working. Believe me, I feel a lot better than what I have been. But we'll start with the first poem, and it's called "I Put a Spell on You." And this poem was basically written through for a word prompt. Just pretty much what I do a lot of these for, as you know. And about this time, I think it's about maybe Halloween or so when I started writing this. So I put a spell on you, one to bewitch you, entangle you in my web, so you will be fascinated by the beauty of life rather than despair and melancholy. So, and just basically, talking about bewitching somebody, and instead of doing it in a bad way, doing it in a good way where they're actually, they help them. So, and this next one's called "We're Made of Emeralds." And this poem is basically just talks about, because it's just like little snippets that I created, and instead of combining them as just like individual ones. Her eyes were made of emeralds and shimmered when she spoke to me. I put a spell on you, she said with a smile, as I tasted her crimson lips. She now this right here was basically going the other side of, you know, being spellbound by something, by a woman or a person. And the next one here is called it's called "Gravity of My Love." I put a spell on you, so you would know the gravity of my love. I won't let you waste me with the magic when we kissed. And this right here is a different word prompt, and it is basically in the dark. It's basically the word prompt. It takes strength to wander in the dark. Alone sometimes you learn not to fear the night, nor the creatures who dwell there. It's the only home I know. And when you, as a poet, a lot of times when you write stuff, there's always that people assume that you're suicidal, or you're dark and mysterious, or not, you do the dark and gloomy and brooding and brooding stuff. No, it's like a lot of times a poet can go from being happy all the way over to sad, or being deranged, or being impressed, or being about different ways with how they approach a poem. And that's basically how I do it, because I just let my muse just go to work, or whatever pops in my mind when I start writing these things. This next one right here is called "Stars Wait to Dance." Stars to wait to dance in the dark and wander across the night. The only courage you have to chart the heavens depends on your strength of your coffee's caffeine level. And there's just a little twist there about having coffee, because it is a staple of being a writer, or tea, whichever one. But waiting to dance in the dark because you're under a night sky, having a romantic scene where you're with somebody, and you're just basically taking in the stars and the night and everything, and just enjoying the solitude within those things. This next poem is called "Wander Through." Unspoken words wander through my sleepless mind. I dream poetry when I dream of you, words the meaning attached to the embers of kisses. And that's basically, embers is the word prompt. And just staying with the theme of love throughout throughout these poems. Next one's called "Like I Draw Breath." I dream of poetry. Well, I dream poetry, words, lines without form. like I draw breath, breathing in words as they course through my veins and flow out my pen. Words I find meaning, but fail when I try to speak them. I lost my courage in trying to speak because my heart can't take the pain, even though it's a price of life, desiring to be loved. And that is basically, the price of being a poet is that being or a person you're desiring love. So, or to be loved, and either how you perceived as being a writer or being perceived as a person, because you try and find so many ways to be able to put love out there in the world. This next one's called Copper Tone Skin. Waves crash upon a distant shore, where you lie on the sandy beach, drinking in the sun, copper tone skin laced in postage stamps. An imaginary thread, red rocks wash over your shoulders like the tides washing away your form. Tiny beads of perspiration traveling along your body, cooling touches from the sun. My memory of that day, gazing into the eyes of an angel basking in the sunlight. Grains of sand clinging to your body conceal hidden hearts, letting my mind run wild as streaks of water tease me as it reveals pieces of you. And in this poem, I'm imagining, a girl sunbathing, and being there with her, as the water drifts away the sand to show her body. And this next poem right here is called One Day We're Falling in Love. How did we get this way? One day we're falling in love, then time passes and you find yourself in the arms of a stranger. How did it come to the pass? It seems like we were so much more than a one night stand. But here we are, once we're lovers, now we're nothing. Things don't click like they used to between us. All the divisiveness, being conceited, and letting the ragged edge sever our heartstrings. I go to bed questioning everything I once knew about you. We used to love each other, but what went wrong? All the simple things I loved about you now annoy me and drives us apart like a wedge, banging away at our faults at the end of the day, and I find myself here in the arms of a stranger. And it's basically how you look at relationships, and a lot of times when they end up going to divorce, it's like, at some point you thought you really knew the person that you were with, that you were married to, because that person was somebody you loved, and then just things didn't work out because love wasn't present, or the people involved didn't find ways to work things out and finding compromise. And a lot of times compromise helps, but not always. But then again, this is a single man talking about things that I really don't know much about. This one right here, this next poem, it basically pulls off of this one. The Delicate Truth is what it's called. The delicate truth, perhaps, would have been better than the slow death of watching you walking away with my heart drowning in your wake and enduring pain. And it's basically relenting or a relent of losing someone and watching them walk away and not even fight, because it's just like just let them go. If they don't want to stay, let them go. There ain't no reason to keep them if they don't want to stay. This next one's called Dancer's Motion. Delicate steps, a dancer's motion, slow like a leaf floating across the floor. She slides heel to toe, balancing between twirls, as she comes to rest, gliding into my arms. And I wrote this poem basically thinking about the ball that I went to, and ballroom dancing that I took and everything, because I kind of miss doing that. I enjoyed being able to meet people and dance and have fun. I miss those things. And the last poem we're going to do is called Empty Vows. Empty promises, empty vows, white lies, golden truths. It's all about the games we play when the truth goes much further if you like her. And it's basically just telling the truth in the relationship, talking to them, talking to people, being open. So, excuse me, for the stuff, as I said. But be sure to check out my friends, um, Sarah Aikinghead and Bill Roland Miller, and their podcast, Cast It Into the Fire. They are currently on, it was Bags In. It was one of the podcasts that I saw recently and listened to. Um, Check out my friends with Reiki friends, Aria Simmons, Brian, and Alberta. Definitely check them out. Their contact information in there. Definitely check out Jenna Jinx and Jenna Jinx Pointress over on Instagram. She has a lot of stuff she can do, commissions and everything. Also check out my friend Dwight Kirk's his simulated games over on YouTube. The links are in the description. So until next Sunday, until next weekend, I will bid you adieu. As of right now, I don't have anything coming up event wise, but once that changes, I will let you know. But y'all have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Good day.